Hello everyone, it's me, Mix2the and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So sit back and enjoy. Aha, there we go, I found the way up here. There's actually a part of this tree you can hold onto apparently. Yeah, that's how I get up here. I think there's also a way that you go up there without Link holding onto this, but that's the way I did it now. But yeah, cool, what I wanted to show you last time was you can actually fall into the temple. Like this. Yeah, funny. But yeah, welcome to the forest temple. By the way, that thing that you fall there, that's just a very interesting quirk about loading zones. Like if Link enters a loading zone while he is still in midair, and he continues to fall down then, and apparently during loading times or during those loading transitions, the floor is not solid, so he just falls straight through them, which is funny. I wonder if you fall for long enough there, you can actually still void out, if that had some weird effects or not. But yeah, that's just something to ponder. But yeah, anyways, welcome to the Forest Temple once again. The first dungeon as adult Link. My favorite dungeon in the entire game. Just simply because it sets such an amazing tone for the rest of the adventure here. Like, we are in the future now. Like, dungeons obviously are much more complex now and also much cooler. And yeah, this dungeon here sets such a good tone that I actually think it's the best dungeon in the game. The aesthetic here already pretty cool here. With the tree with like this castle aesthetic here and the outside areas as well. That's pretty cool, pretty varied as well. And a lot of interesting stuff here also going on. Unique stuff that is not in any other dungeon. So yeah, very good dungeon. Let's set foot into this dungeon. Also here, a very subtle thing that at least I think it's supposed to be a subtle thing here. But yeah, you can see we get attacked by two Wolfos here. Remember back in the day when we entered Sacred Forest Meadow for the first time as child, we had to fight one Wolfos to get access to like basically this part here. So now because stuff is harder and everything, we fight two Wolfos instead. That's pretty cool. But yeah, the first objective is we need to get up here. We could go into the next room. There's actually one gripe with this dungeon that I have, and it's actually in this very first room here. And that's the way how small keys are introduced. From this dungeon on, as adult Link, we will encounter small keys. Those have been noticeably absent from the Shell dungeons, Master Key as well, Boss Key as well, but all of those things will be part of like adult Link in further dungeons now. And the first small key we do get here. And the thing I don't want to say I don't like about this first room or this dungeon, but one thing I would have done differently to introduce small keys, I would have made this a locked door. Because then you need to figure out, why can I not open this door? There's this lock here, I need to find something apparently. You look around, you figure out, aha, you can climb up there, and then you find the small key here. That's the way how I would have introduced it. Would also have been like a cool thing when you first enter this dungeon. You see like this weird new mechanic there, and like it immediately sets you up for what's to come, basically. But I think the developer's idea here was that you are supposed to notice that you find small keys and you actually need small keys from other rooms and need to carry them to other rooms to open doors. I think that's the intention here. But yeah, I would have done that differently. I would have started like with the most simple thing here that you can introduce with those small keys. And then I would have like placed the next small key like in a different room. Like here, for example, I think like this door to the right there or left cutscene. But yeah, I think I would have done it in a way that like in order to enter the room to the left, I would have placed another key there, or I would have closed the door with the key, and the key you find like in the room straight up ahead. Because this door is open now, I think that's something I would have done differently. Yeah, we did see those posters here. They did take the flames, and it made it so that the elevator here is lowered. that's bad, and because we need to go into the basement in order to go to the boss. But we got our, like, kind of secondary objective here now. I should rather say main objective. Like, from this dungeon on, you always get, like, some kind of main objective, and, like, the secondary objective then is to find the boss key. And some dungeons are better in that regard, that they, like, make this actually very separate things. While other dungeons, you basically accomplish, both things in one go. Which is the way I don't really like it. Like, this is one of such dungeons here. But still cool. We want to go here. We actually have more mini-bosses here, and actually more and stronger fights here as well. Our first stealthos. What we want to do with those guys, we want to use power crouch steps. We want to step them once they give us an opening with a power crouch step. Then we want to wait a little bit, they either jump away, then we can strike again. Or if they immediately raise their shield again... Come on. If they immediately raise their shield again, you want to wait a little bit, and then you want to crouch step again, because then they immediately get an opening again. But this was a little bit sloppy. Hopefully the next couple stealthos will go more smoothly. We get another key. That's where I would have put the key, and like the key door would have been in a different location. Also fairy, thank you. You could also tell those stealthos do actually hurt a lot if you're not careful. Like especially that jump attack they perform. Also, by the way, one thing I never mentioned, this crouch step, of course, is a remnant of when this game was supposed to be a Zelda 2 remake. And a lot of big links, adult links animations here are actually also like kind of, I want to say ripped, but like they also resemble animations from Zelda 2. Yeah, multiple ways here. We cannot go like every way here. We have two options here. From now on, dungeons also offer us more paths to take. It's not just like a straight line affair anymore. At least most dungeons are no longer a straight line affair. But here we want to go over here. That will take us to the first courtyard. I like to call it. The Western Courtyard. The Western outside area. The aesthetic of this dungeon is so great with the like castle and like the outside areas. I like this. The music, of course, also pretty cool. Also really helps in setting the mood here. It feels more oppressive than like everything we encountered as a child in the child dungeons, the music. But also not like awfully like dreadful or so. That's of course then the honor of the Shadow Temple. But definitely adds a very fitting mysterious vibe. Cool, yeah, I'm doing stuff that I want to do, but I cannot do. I want to use a trick there that you can perform with hover boots, but we will never go here with hover boots, so we will never perform that trick. Careful when you climb around here. Don't get attacked by the spider. But you want to go up here. Bubble. Nice jump slash. One jump slash is enough to kill it. But jump slashing those guys is always very hard because once you extinguish their flame, they jump around aimlessly and randomly. Yeah, wrong side. A rookie mistake. You need to interact with the chest from this side. And this is the dungeon map. Still with Dodongo's Cavern on the model, nice. Let's take a look here. Yeah, looks pretty big actually. Cool. Now we're in the other courtyard. We basically found a connector from one courtyard to the other. Now we are in the eastern courtyard. Our goal is, or what we want to do is, we want to go over here. By the way, this is a hookshot target. Those are points we can hookshot onto. Nice. But here we want to press the switch. Once again, still with the Gerudo symbol. It's pretty strange, actually. Why did they like put the Gerudo symbol on like blocks and switches in this game? Like one theory I did. You can do that? What? Wait a second, I'm baffled right now. You can do that? What? You can race the water again? That doesn't even make sense. I step on it again, but okay. Oh, that's something I never knew. You can race the water again. Now I understand why it has this color. Ah, I see. Interesting. What I wanted to say. Why do the switches and blocks in this game have the Gerudo emblem on them? Like, one theory I did here is that those switches and blocks were first designed for the Gerudo training grounds, and they just reused the model and never bothered to like make those symbols disappear. Although that would have been, that should have been theoretically pretty easy, although I'm not sure how the texture looks like, but still, weird. Like, it makes it look like as if Gandalf placed all the mechanics in those dungeons and like he engineered all the dungeons, basically. He was the architect for all those dungeons, kind of. Or like the Gerudo as a whole. Okay, now we are in the Eastern Courtyard. There are a couple of things I want to show you here. First of all, in case you're playing a randomizer again. In case you're playing a randomizer, you might get the bow before you get Song of Time. That enables you to go into this courtyard first. But the problem is you cannot like enter the well because the water is up. You can also not go like up there because you cannot reach it, except you can actually reach it and reach the Western Courtyard that way. What you want to do is, you want to position yourself in that corner. You want to face the wall like this. You want to target so that Link aligns himself with the wall. You want to move into the corner. And then you want to perform one side hop to the right, another side hop to the right. I think then you want to do a backflip. And I think from here you can already like aim for the vines up here. Nah, you don't need the long shot for that. You can do it like this. Nah, I think I know what my mistake is. Once again, position yourself like this. One side hop, another side hop, backflip, and then I think we need to perform a neutral roll. Okay, let's see if it works this time around. You also only want to aim straight up. Like, it's very finicky, like you cannot really shoot like on those vines and Link holds onto them automatically. It has to be in a very precise spot. I think that should suffice. Yeah, look like this, yeah. And now you can go up here with the normal hook shot and you can press the switch, lower the water, or you can raise it again. I need to see that again. Look at this. Weird. Never knew that was possible. That's the amazing thing about Ocarina of Time. You discover something like every single day you play this. Like still things I haven't discovered in this game, and I'm playing this game for 27 years now, almost. Weird. Okay, yeah, that's something I wanted to show off. I think the idea here is, that you summon the Scarecrow, maybe? No, maybe the idea here is that you summon time blocks. You can see Navi reacts to something over there. I'm not sure what Navi wants you to do here. No, then that was Master Quest. Okay, you can reach this chest if you position yourself like this, and there we go. I'm fairly convinced you can call it the Scarecrow here. Navi reacts to something here, that's pretty obvious, but I'm not sure what it is. Could also just be one of those like weird big fairies or so. Like if I do Scarecrow song here again. Like I'm fairly certain you can summon Scarecrow here. But apparently not, huh? Song of Time again? Let's discover some more secrets. Nope. Song of Storms, perhaps? Let's see if something happens. Navi also does not react anymore. Nope. But I like that you can see the rain here, because like the sky is there, that's also good. That's actually taken into consideration here. Also, I disabled the music, whoops. So much for the rain. Okay, I think it fixed itself, kind of. It does not fix so immediately, but that was funny. It rains down here. The idea behind lowering the water here is that you can reach this chest and get this key. Once again, another really cool place here in this dungeon. Once again, I need to mention this dungeon is actually very varied in design. It looks pretty cool. We have this canonization section here going on. Also very nice with the mysterious fog. You cannot really tell where you're going. Really good atmosphere here. Where does this lead to? Who knows? I also like that you can see those black pixels in the background there. That's just a quirk about, I think, Virtual Console. I'm not sure about the N64 version, but that's at least something that happens here. You can still see some seams in the textures and the polygons and stuff, and the mesh. Also nice that it gets brighter here, and so much good stuff here. Lighting in general in this game is really, really good. All of that probably handcrafted, because real-time lighting not much of a thing, especially not with high fidelity lighting effects or so. But this game does a great work with the lighting. Look at this, look at the lighting here. It looks so good. It's dark, but there's still this shimmer of light. Navi also creates some light. That's some real time lighting here, but it's really great. It's really great. That's also something I need to mention. That's something a little anecdote here. But back in the day, of course, I played this on a CRT. I'm not sure about CRTs in general, but the thing with my CRT that I used to play this game on was always that it was pretty dark, which especially was the case because the CRT was also positioned in a way that the sun from outside could really shine on it. And back in the days with CRTs, they don't have backlighting. It's pretty dark. The sun does actually mirror itself and stuff, and none of those fancy IPS display, LCD, whatever the heck that we have nowadays. So naturally, this game was very, very dark. And I think that's also one of those things, people always rambling about their scan lines, the good old CRT look. But I think one major thing they sometimes forget about, that really also is part of the CRT aesthetic, is that the outside lighting also of course affects what you can see of the game. And back in the day when I was playing this on CRT, game was much, much darker, especially with the aforementioned sun intruding my play. And lowering the jalousines and everything also didn't really help much, to be honest. It was still pretty dark. But yeah, that really also set the mood for a lot of areas. It was pitch black here, kind of. This is what you can see is not what you could see on the CRT when I played this game. And especially later on Shadow Temple. Shadow Temple was just pure darkness. Really, really interesting. You couldn't barely navigate the place because it was so dark. But yeah, nowadays, LCDs, everything is bright. Also, wait a second. This was actually close. Okay, yeah. So it is actually, like I said, why was the door not locked previously? Or did we view... I think we did view that door over there, not the one to the right, to the west. Not the one to the east here, huh? Okay, or is that... I think... No, wait a second. This one is the one to the west, the other one is to the east. Is it? I'm thinking I'm going in the left direction. Yeah, that's the east side, east wing of the dungeon. So this door was actually locked. It kind of makes what I was thinking of. Okay. Good stuff. Still would have done differently and placed the key doors a little bit differently. Oh guys, arrows on the floor. There are arrows painted on the floor. Oh my goodness. Okay, the idea is we push and pull this block along the direction the arrows are pointing. Kind of weird that they made an effort to actually print some arrows on the floor here. I think it's simply enough. You cannot really screw up here. The arrows just make it unnecessarily easy. But yeah, once again, very slow pushing and pulling. Like, the thing also is it does not even reflect, like, how big and, like, how small a block is. Like, Link always pushes them, like, in the same tempo. And that's especially infuriating because we already got the grounds brace that Link should be stronger, so theoretically he should be able to push those blocks faster now. But that's never the case, also never with the Silver and Golden Gauntlets respectively. Like, Link never gets actually stronger, he can only, like, push different stuff. Which is a little bit sad, a missed opportunity, would have been more immersive, I would say. If those strength upgrades also actually did something like that. Oh yeah, I need the bow for this, yeah. Let's just continue with pushing this block then. And we push, and push, and push. There's also some shenanigans you can do here with ground jumps again. You can jump on those blocks, and if you're not careful, you can also squish Link if you're not careful. Like, for example, like, if let's show this off. Let's see if it works. I need to push him, those blocks again, but that's not what I wanted. Like this. If I ground jump now, Link should hold onto the block now, because on the other side there's not a ceiling, but he will get squashed because on this side there's a ceiling. Let's see. No, actually it worked, okay. I did not get squashed here. Yeah, I think someplace else, like, if you do that. Maybe here, because the ceiling is a little bit lower, and if you jump, if you hold onto that and climb up, you white out. Like, height and everything is a little bit weird, but yeah, what I meant with ground jumps, you could do stuff like this here, store a ground jump, hop up here, and you're up here now. And you can do this now, for example. Oh, one thing I also never noticed, there's also the symbol here, okay. Oh no, I'm trapped now, what should I do? Not like this. Oh, that could be kind of a problem. Wait a second. No, it's more of a problem than I thought it would be. Let's just do it in this direction then. There we go. Almost boxed myself in. You can see here the bubbles in the background. Also nice touch. They are pretty noisy, to be honest. They are also close by. You can slightly hear the enemy music. Climb up, Link. Oh, one thing I also need to mention, one thing that's also pretty cool about this game, they really did a lot of stuff with this game. Obviously, this was a big deal back in the day. But, yeah, one thing I also need to mention before I progress here, like, every action Link can take was actually illustrated in the manual for this game, at least in the German manual. Like, you did get illustrations for Link climbing a ladder, Link shielding, Link slashing horizontally, Link slashing vertically, spin attack, holding a bomb, climbing a ladder, I think I already mentioned that, and so on and so forth. Like, every action Link could perform, they did bother to illustrate in the handbook, which is pretty nice. Kind of like, I think they did the same for Super Mario 64 too, but with renders instead of not with artwork. Also, speaking of artwork, the artwork for this game is also pretty great. Like, it looks really good. Yeah, look at this. Kind of a corridor, isn't it? This corridor is all twisted. Oh wow, Navi, you're pointing out the very obvious stuff again. But yeah, this is also so cool. This is also one of those things that really cements this dungeon as being pretty memorable. Like, stuff like this. Like I said, this dungeon has a lot going on, like this corridors here as well. Pretty cool. Watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. Uh-oh. Another one of those, like, absolute nightmare-fuel things of this game, like wall monsters. Look at this. They can grab us if you're not careful. They only really try to grab you, like, over here. Interesting. You can also climb up here. You can also see this room too is twisted. They also try to grab you here, okay. Okay, you should be pretty safe. If you're not running around the floor there, like, not a wall monster should be able to grab you. Especially not if you keep moving. Yeah, Wallmaster's also another anecdote I can tell you. But yeah, Wallmaster's pretty scary, of course. I had a dream once as a kid. Like, I was on a toilet and like a Wallmaster would grab me. That's a funny story I can tell. Yeah, that guy actually wanted to get me still. Huh, okay. Now we are here, another memorable feature of this dungeon, like those paintings here. We can approach and... oh, suddenly it's gone. Now it's here. Come on, I get you. No. Okay. Yeah, we can see that's one of the pose from the entrance hall. Like stuck inside this painting a la Super Mario 64 now. But we cannot do something with that. We cannot interact. We need the dungeon item first. And conveniently, the dungeon item is right over here in this room. And now we've had the true mini-boss here. Once again, stealth foes. But yeah, let's see if I can pull off what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's what I meant. You want to crouch step, let go of shield, shield again, crouch step, hit again, let go of shield, crouch step again. Now those guys are more interesting stealth foes. Lure it close to you and watch it movement carefully. Attack it when it drops its guard. Oh, look at the blinking eyes, cool. But yeah, those two stealth foes are interesting. Those guys also appear later in the escape sequence from Gen's tower. But yeah, you need to kill those guys in quick succession because those guys will not die immediately. They will leave their bones behind. And if you are not fast enough with killing them both at the same time, they will like reassemble themselves. That's not what I want. Come on, I'm already missing so much time. Let's see how they reassemble again. Didn't want to show that off, but I was pretty bad. I wanted to stun him with the Deconut here. Look at this, there he is. Ah, come on. I mean, ideally you want to spread out your hits here. But that's not really necessary if you're fast enough. There we go. Oh yeah, that guy also had only one hit anyways. Also, when they die, kind of half die, and leave their bones behind, that absolutely lags the game, as you could see. I think there are also like technical explanation videos on this game that explain why it lags there in that instance precisely. But yeah, dungeon item, another very cool item. Adult Link immediately gets 2 cool items, which is also important. Also this chest is floating, by the way. But yeah, Adult Link immediately gets 2 cool items, Hookshot and here the Fairy Bow. And both of which substitute the Hookshot, Hookshot substitute Hookshot, but Hookshot substitutes the Boomerang, and the bow here, of course, does substitute the Slingshot. So it's kind of important that we get them right away. And also reasonable, later on we get more fancy items again. That actually have some new stuff going on. But yeah, cool bow. Bow is pretty great. Also this chest is floating. It's hard to spot because we need to examine it carefully. This looks normal, but if you really... yeah, like this, you can actually see that it's floating slightly. Maybe you can peek below it. Nah. Because the floor is so even, you don't really recognize that it is floating. That's actually a common trick in some games, that the characters and stuff are not actually completely connected with the floor. I think in some Sonic games that's the case. That Sonic is not running on like the floor, but he's like floating slightly above it. And given the fast nature of the game, you don't really see that he's actually kind of floating a little bit. But yeah, here it's kind of obvious. Okay, with the bow we can now take on that one pose sister there. But first of all, we need to get into position. We need to attack from afar, and the bow allows us to do so. Once again, first person item. We kill all the paintings here and we release the ghost. Okay, all those pose sisters have different names. I forgot what they are called. Joelle, one of the pose sisters. Aim for her when she appears. Okay, what we want to do here, Link has, or Adult Link I should rather say, has the hookshot now. The hookshot can be used to creatively defeat Poes. Let's see if I can do it. Because basically what we want to do, we want to manually aim at the Poe. And then we want to shoot our hookshot that will damage the Poe and will pull it towards us. Then the Poe will enter its like panic state, will try to get away from us and makes itself invisible. We can, in the meantime, try to shoot the Poe again, and we can basically rinse and repeat that until the Poe is dead. Let's see if I can pull that off. Ideally, what you want to do also is you want to create, or you want to shoot in a way that the Poe, when it enters panic retreat mode, is not close to wall, but because once it gets close to wall and touches the wall, it becomes invisible, and that's what we don't want right now. So basically, the position I have right now is pretty good. I just need to disable the Z targeting right now. Okay, let's see. Ah, he blocked, okay. Like this. Yeah, and that's what I meant, okay. If the Poe is in its invisible state, we can use Deku Nuts to make it visible again. Yeah, just like that, nice. Cool. That's the stylish way to defeat the Poes. But I think a faster way might be use Jump Slash, attack the Poe, Poe will become invisible, use Deku Nut, make it visible again, Jump Slash again, and I think do that 3 times and you're good to go. You get a small key, nice. What we want to do right now is we want to go back. Because we have some business in some previous rooms. Once again, a stark contrast to the Child dungeons. Because in the Child dungeons we didn't really have to backtrack all that much. But now we need to go a little bit back actually. Because we did notice that eye switch up there. We can obviously activate that now with our bow. And that actually straightens the corridor. Nice camera movement there. Also, by the way, this entire room is actually not part of the environment, so to speak, but this entire room is actually an actor, which means it is an object within the Ocarina of Time engine here. Actors, by the way, in case you don't know, actors are what like objects that inhabit the world are called in this game. Like, yeah, normally those would be called objects, but like in the context of Ocarina of Time, they are referred to as actors. And the rest is just like model or mesh or whatever environment. But this room is actually an actor because it has unique mechanics going on. We found this fancy looking chest. This chest always hosts the boss key, which is called Master Key in German, which is a cooler name if you ask me. Now you can get inside to the chamber where the boss lurks. And contrary to actually not the previous game was Link's Awakening, but contrary to but contrary to Link to the Past, the boss key is not used in this game to open certain chests. It actually uses the concept that was introduced with the Nightmare key in Link's Awakening. Okay, we arrive here, we did jump into that one hole in the previous room, in the Twisted Room. Now we're in this courtyard again. And we want to be here because now we can reach this room here. We fight a Floor Master. This is a Floor Master. Also, in case you don't know, Wall Masters are the one that come from the ceiling. Why are they not called Ceiling Master instead? That's because of the Legend of Zelda game. Like in that game, Wall Masters existed and they actually came from the wall. And they never bothered to call the Wall Master Ceiling Master. So it's just Wall Master instead. You could also argue that the ceiling is still a wall. But that's when it gets philosophical, so don't bother with it. But Floor Master is on the floor, so he's called Floor Master. Okay, guy wants to attack us. You want to jump attack. That will make it so that he splits into 3 smaller versions of himself. Use the quick spin to kill all of them, and you don't have to worry about it. If you really struggle with that, one thing I always used when I was a kid to defeat those guys, I defeated the big hand and then I used Din's Fire to kill the small ones. I think when I fight them later, I can try that off and show that off. Try that off. I can try that. And Din's Fire is very effective against the smaller ones. If you let the smaller ones run around, they eventually will grab onto Link and they will become big again. Now we are here, by the way, back here. in the block room, in the arrow block room. Yeah, once they like move around, eventually they will attack Link, grab onto him, and they will become big again. And if you are not fast enough, you will be trapped in an endless loop fighting those guys. Okay, we want to go over here again, because there's also an ice switch here. This ice switch is non-permanent because it's golden. This one is a one-time ice switch. Color-coded, kind of like the normal floor switches. You get arrows! Nice! I was saying, am I missing the compass, but I'm getting the compass after I defeat the next Poe sister. Yeah, okay. What we want to do now, we want to activate the eye switch again, which is a little bit counterintuitive because you close the eye by shooting into it, but you also open it again by shooting into it. And this twists the room again, and we can go back to where we did fight the previous Poe sister and did get the bow. And from there on, we can continue. The idea was that we did get a small key, which will become important. I think you can also just jump, yeah, over here. Yep. Also, by the way, the bow uses arrows as resource. Just to mention it. We do the same stuff as with the other Poe sister. This guy appears and disappears now. Here. He immediately disappears because it spawned hinter, yeah, Southern German, behind me. All of those Poes have unique designs. Okay, you are Beth, one of the Poe sisters. Aim for her when she appears. Let's see what I meant here. You want to make her visible, jump slash. She turns invisible again, jump slash. That was too early, and one more and dead. Cool. The Poes always become invisible once you Z-target onto them. That's basically an interesting concept because no other like enemy in the game does interact with the Z-targeting that much, with the Z-targeting. They actually react to whether or not you are targeted onto them. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, so the compass, like I said. Cool. Are we doing good? We should have... No, we don't have all the sculptures. There's one in B2. A lot of floors also. Really, this sets... really, like, introduces a lot of stuff here. Like, multiple floors and stuff. Like, you need to think, like, some rooms ahead. You need to consider the entire dungeon, not just, like, a room-to-room affair, which is also a great design always for a dungeon. Yeah, that's where we need the next key, and soonish we will find out where we need the one key we did get from, like, our small detour there. Well, that was not really good. Look at those guys, different kinds of bubbles. And my aim is awful. There we go. Yeah, that's where we need the last key over there. This room, contrary to the previous one, is straight. That's the default state. So let's twist it a little bit. We get introduced to a different mechanic here, another mechanic that is related to the bow and arrow here. Because when we shoot through a torch, we ignite our arrow and we can melt stuff. For example, this ice switch here. Just aim carefully while you are standing on this rotating platform. And this is always mean, because you're standing on the rotating platform, the cutscene does play. You basically shoot from, like, the opposite side here. And you would imagine that you end up on the side where the door is, but actually it rotates you far enough that you jump over here and then you need to jump up here again and you need to go over there. That's always mean. We have pots here. I never realized those pots. More arrows makes sense. Is that dangerous, water? Wow, Link, okay. And this is dangerous water, it's blood red, kind of. What is this? Ouch. Wait a second, can I cheat a little bit? Can I do this? Nah, okay. But Link has very stretchy arms, look at this. Yeah, that's something that can sometimes happen. Never underestimate how far Link actually grabs. Oh, by the way, I hope those guys drop something, because when they drop something, that can have some interesting effects sometimes. And that hints a little bit at the nature of the room here. Maybe if I move like this. Okay, now it's inside the ground. Like, sometimes you can have it so that, like, items are floating, like, mid-air here and stuff, because they do not really know how to handle the weird physics of this room. Okay, there's nothing here, just a hole to jump into. Let's do this. And by the way, another very interesting room here, another memorable room of this, the checkerboard room here. Okay, we need to go through there. We can also go here. Where does that take me again? I think that's the... Yeah, that's this. Yeah. That's where you... Like, I don't want to say normally get the chest, but that leads back to the eastern courtyard. Okay, now we want to do this. This looks deceptively easy. We can make matters easier by shooting the sculptures here. You can already notice, there are some gaps in the ceiling. I wonder why that's the case. Link, watch out! The ceiling is falling down. Oh, okay. Okay, nothing to worry about, basically. You just need to go to places where, like, some things to interact are, because there's always a gap where things to interact are. Like, for example, where the switches, this is, like, free space, and also here in front of the treasure chest as well. Link is fast enough that stuff like this does not really matter. Also, one thing is, in this room we cannot go into first-person view, which allows us, on the other hand, to view how Link uses the item in, like, 3D. Like, from, like, a third-person perspective. It's a countermeasure to, like, prevent you to defeat all those sculptures. Also, I cannot go into ego perspective. Okay, now we are here. The third pose sister. Once again, we want to shoot the painting. And we need to solve a little puzzle here. We need to assemble the pose sister, basically, the portrait of the pose sister with those blocks. In a randomizer, this is kind of trivial because the block pushing pulling speed is much higher. But here that could actually be kind of like interesting. No, actually not. We just need to make sure that this block is not in the way. There's one fake block and that doesn't belong to the whole picture. And just make sure that you like do this and don't mess around with the other block. You have plenty of time here. This was also still hard for me as a kid, like, obviously if you don't have gaming experience, like, all of this is insanely hard. Like, those are good memories. Nowadays, this is so trivial, but, like, nowadays, like, previously that was much more difficult. Nah. No, okay, I don't have deco nuts, no. Nah, you're not getting away, They have also iframes, so that's also why you want to make sure that there's enough space between you and the wall. They're kind of like Cocos in that regard. They try to get away from you in like the most straight line. Cool. What is this? This torch is lit. I did not scan the other pose sister. Beth, Joelle. I could look that up. Zelda Wiki, help me. I looked that up now. I will not like leave you in the dark what that pose sister's name was. Let's see. Pose sisters, is a Google search of that enough? Pose sisters is actually something. Let's not use the fandom wiki. Zelda Dungeon also not what I want to use. Where's the Zeldapedia? There we go. Poe Sisters. Oh, that's also on the... Why is that Zeldapedia all of a sudden? Archive fandom, dude. Dude, Zelda wiki. Give me a legit independent Zelda wiki, please. Zelda wiki, there we go. And let's search for Poe Sisters. Okay, Poe Sisters, a recurring character in the Legend of Zelda franchise series. Okay, the was it Amy? I think it was Amy. The last one is Meg. Yeah, that was Amy. Oh, the picture for Amy on the Zelda wiki. Oh, super dark. Cool. Okay, we just defeated Amy. That's what I wanted to know. That means only one Poe Sisters left, and that leads to something that is also unique to this dungeon, because you do get a secondary mini-boss fight here. Look at that. There's the last remaining Poe Sister mourning the death of her, like, dead sisters, kind of. Doesn't really make sense. Let's send them to the proper afterlife. Let's go. This Poe Sister has some tricks up her sleeve. She will split into 4. But she's also very obvious with giving her position away. What you want to do here, you want to take the Poe Sister with an arrow that like spins around. You can also use the spin attack here. Oh, that was a little bit too late. Yeah, if you wait too long, she will attack you. One thing you can do a spin attack here. In order to be smart here, but that doesn't work, that doesn't count. And ouch. Ah, okay. What should I do, guys? Yeah, like I said, you need to watch her when she materializes here. The one that spins is the one you want to attack with an arrow. And you do that, I think, 4 times, and you're good to go. In the meantime, I'm doing this to taunt. One thing I want to know, wait a second. Oh, she disappears here? Okay. Okay. What happens if I leave the place? Okay, music is gone. Okay, makes sense. And she's back there again, okay. Does she always face you? I think that's something that happens, right? Also, one thing I can quickly show off. Yes, this ice switch up here that opens that door. That's just a shortcut to the Eastern Courtyard. Nothing of interest, to be honest, but hey. If you don't already have all the keys, maybe that can be of interest. Okay, cutscene also plays again, okay. Let's do this properly, shall we? Oh, did Link just face the one that is the right one? Okay. Link totally unimpressed. Hope you're not getting dizzy. I think what I'm doing here is called ESS steps, by the way. Once again, one of those quirks from, like, possible through the ESS adapter. Easier possible through the ESS adapter. It's also possible, like, normally, but once again, much harder. By the way, this is always important that you stand on the elevator after this. Just to get style points. We can still examine those torches. Look, Link, a torch is lit. That's because you beat a ghost, isn't it? Oh, Navi, you are really slow to catch on, right? Look, Link, a torch. It's lit. Wow, okay. It's so easy to excite this fairy. And this takes us to the last room, another memorable room. This dungeon has so much memorable stuff. Like, this room is also fairly unique, because what we do here is we basically, like, twist the entire room. It's also much slower in in the base game here compared to randomizer. But yeah, what we want to do here is we want to twist the like outer wall of this room basically, and we want to find like all the corridors here and activate switches so that we can move on to the boss. Like that one over there, like it's pretty dark, I cannot see, yeah, okay. That one is not like a room. Always remember in which way you are pushing those... pushing the room, I should say. I think I actually did chose the wrong direction. I need to like push everything back at least once or so. I'm going clockwise, I think, right now. I think you want to go counterclockwise. Get all of this in one go. Yeah, probably. Also, that switch was weird. That switch was positioned like sideways. Now we should be back at square one, right? Just keep pushing and eventually you figure out like where you need to go here. I did it wrong somehow, huh? Now I'm getting lost. This room is not complicated at all, but I'm still getting lost here somehow. Yeah, how about this one? Of course you can like orientate yourself with the floors. Like this time it's the blue floor. Which means I need to push this 2 more times. Clong. Like, what do you think how heavy this is? Like, Link can push it, sure. I'm fairly certain he cannot pull it, right? No, wouldn't make much sense, yeah. Can at least push it, so how heavy is all of that? In any case, you could see the carpet. And that leads us straight to the boss fight. Well, first boss as Adult Link, you can see the Master Door, as I like to call it, because Master Key in German, and the chest that the Master Key is in is the Master chest for me always. But yeah, boss door. Let's step inside. Pretty quiet, isn't it? Nice paintings. I think that's also one of those like eternal mysteries about this game. Like, what are those paintings supposed to represent? I think the common consensus is that it is like Ganon's castle, but it also at the same time does not really look like Ganon's castle. But yeah, nothing here. Let's just leave, shall we? Oh my god, we can never break out of here because you cannot like duck under like those lines there. And oh my god, it's Gandalf. But joke's on you, it's not Gandalf at all. It is the evil spirit from beyond, Phantom Ganon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, first appearance of Phantom Ganon in the franchise. And he goes full on Super Mario 64 and disappears in one of the paintings. Okay, what we want to do, we want to figure out where he's coming from. This time is this. There are always 2 Phantom Ganons trying to ride out of the paintings. One is a fake. You can orientate yourself with multiple things. The right one always is brighter in look. The right one is always like brighter. And the other thing you can use to orientate yourself is you can listen. You can always hear where he's galloping, the right one. And there we go. Okay, now we want to play the good old Dead Man's Volley, introduced by Aganem. Nah, that was bad. Okay, I want to stay close to him because once I create some distance, we enable the actual tennis game here. Also, one thing I need to show off. I'm actually not sure how much damage I dealt to him. That's something right now. But there's a special move Phantom Ganon can use, and he only uses that move when he is like one hit away from dying. I used basically 4 jump slashes on him right now. Which means I'm not sure how low his health is right now. Could actually be that I need to attack him again. He's not using it. I think he would normally use it by this point. Maybe I should look this up real quick. What was that? That one was pretty slow. Did you see that? He's not using it. Let's try to be cocky here. Let's see if I can damage him one more. Do not use a jump slash this time. Just poke him a little bit. Yeah, okay. Could have easily killed him. Let's see if it does his move now. Nah. I guess this weird thing where he writes his death and tries to attack you with that. That's also something you see rarely because you never like damage him in a way that you like see that attack. Nah, still not using it. I need to damage you again. The guy has more health than I give him credit for. Nah, maybe we need to play tennis again. Dead Man's Volley. And like this game you do with Gendorf and Aghanim and like basically every Zelda game, that's the name of that game is actually called Dead Man's Volley. And the name was first revealed in Phantom Hourglass of all games. Like there's a boss fight that uses that mechanic and it calls it Dead Man Volley. Or Dead Man's Volley, I should say. Okay, he's still refusing to do his attack. Let's play then. One nice touch is also that the ball changes color depending on who is like currently attacking with it. Okay, yeah, still not dead. Okay, let's see. Let's be careful. I don't want to kill him immediately. I want to show off that attack. Like, because that's a rare sight. No, not many people might know about that attack. Like I said, he only uses it when he is like one like hit away from dying. But he might still have like, I think it's 4 units of health if you go by like the speedrun, a speedrun measurement of health. Like one jump slash with the Master Sword deals like 4 units of health, basically. It might actually be that he still has like 4 left, and like normal Sword Slash is like half as strong, deals 2 units of health then. So I might need to attack him again. Yeah, he's refusing to do it, let's do it again. By the way, if you use spin attack, you can actually make this ridiculously fast. Okay, still alive and kicking, I see. Okay, but now, come on, do it. Ah, still not? Come on. You cannot have that much health, come on. I think it becomes clear why it is so hard to see that attack, because he never uses it really. There we go, that it is. That's it. Did you see that? Like, very weird move that he can pull off there. Can he do that again? I think he can do that again. That means the next time I attack him with, I think, everything that I can do, he dies. Like I said, he only uses that once he is like so low in health that he dies in 1 hit. Come on, one more time for the fans. There we go. Like fancy effect, but yeah, not much else to offer. You just step to the side and he cannot hit you. That attack is also fairly strong. I think it deals like 4 hearts of damage. At least it's properly strong for what it does. While we're at it, I can show it off one more time, I guess. But yeah, while we're at it, here, there we go. Ooh. But yeah, while we're at it, this Phantom Ganon look is also an equipment set in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, if I recall correctly. Isn't that the outfit you want to wear for like weird skeleton builds, stealth builds, bone builds in like Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, that's Phantom Ganon. Hey kid, you did quite well. It looks like you may be gaining some slight skill. Ganondorf talking to us. But you have defeated only my Phantom. When you fight the real me, it won't be so easy. What a worthless creation that ghost was. I will bench it to the gap between dimensions. I think in different, like, older revisions of this game, like, he actually, like, banishes Phantom Ganon into the Hades or so, or the Underworld, or, like, the Hell, actually. Like, I at least know that in, like, the German version, he banishes Phantom Ganon to the Hades, which means, like, Greek mythology is, like, part of the Hyrule lore or so. Kind of. Heart container. Speaking about, like, the German version of Ocarina of Time all the time, there's also something I need to tell you, but not now. There's something German exclusive that adds a lot of lore to Ocarina of Time, actually. But yeah, for now we picked up the heart container. Fun fact, the first time around when I 100%ed this game, when I did set out to 100% this game, that one heart container from Phantom Ganon was actually the last remaining heart that I was missing. I forgot to pick it up. And I was questioning, where is the last heart, And then I had the glorious idea to go back to all the dungeons and look if I missed a heart container there. And plot twist, Zarya is the Sage of the Forests. Oh my goodness. Thank you, because of you I could awaken as a sage. I am Zarya, the Sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come, because I know you. No. You don't have to explain it to me. Because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. Once again, our only friend, Hero of Time Link, absolutely gets like a slap in the face here. I will stay here as the Forest Sage and help you. Now, please take this medallion. At least we can still call her with Zarya's song. Like a slight relief there. Man, we just really spent 1 hour in the Forest Temple. Like, I was really thorough to, like, show everything off there. And we obtained the Forest Medallion. Consequently. Also another thing that's, like, a tale as old as time. Like, the, you can see the, design of the medallion here. And, like, the general, like, emblem of the, like, Forest Temple. Like, back in the day, the initial idea was to have a wind dungeon, and that's why it looks like a wind, like a fan or so. But that idea was not executed later. You can actually see parts of that later in Ganon's castle, inside Ganon's castle, because the forest tree is actually based on wind. And also the same is the case later with the water temple, which has like a snowflake symbol, and it was originally intended to be an ice dungeon. And in Ganon's castle, that is like an ice trial. That also is like a good, like that's also like interesting that like all those like old things are inside Ganon's castle, because and like originally the plan for this game was to be more like Super Mario 64. Like, the entire game would only take place inside Ganon's castle, actually. And basically all those trials we have in this game right now, that are like the final trials before the final boss, were supposed to be the dungeons. And you would basically enter the dungeons as you kind of enter the paintings in Super Mario 64 inside the castle. But luckily, like, the entire game seems to be more expensive than the initial plan was. Zarya will always be your friend. Friend-zoned. Yeah, would be awkward. No pedo link here. Oh god. Yeah, we arrive here. Yeah, the deco tree is. And now we have this. What is this? I did not plant this. Whoa! I always like that Link get the full scream here. He gets the full scream here. Like, full duration. I like that. Hi there, I am the Deco Tree Sprout. Because you and Zarya broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I can grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Basically the like success of the Deco Tree. Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognized you with your grown-up body, did they? That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Oh, now another big plot twist. Well, as you might have already guessed, you're not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. Oh my goodness. I'm happy to finally reveal this secret to you. Like, how long did you wait here? Like, did you already know me 7 years before? Nah, huh? Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country, there was a fierce war in our world. Yeah, a lot of like weird lore dump here. Like, there was like this civil war going on prior to Ocarina of Time. One day, to escape from the fires of the war, a Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. Auto-scrolling text. The Deku Tree could sense that this was a child of destiny, whose fate would affect the entire world, so he took him into the forest. Oh my goodness. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised as a Kokiri. And now finally the day of destiny has come. I cannot believe it. You are a Hylian and we are always bound to leave this forest. And now you have learned your own destiny, so you know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule. Easy, right? Now Link, break the curses of all the temples and return peace to Hyrule. Cool. Anything else to say? Hi there, I'm the Deku Tree Sprout. Okay. Because you and Zarya broke... Wow, seriously? I can grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Okay, thank you. At least he did not explain gave the entire lore dump again. At least that. Oh, that's also something I never noticed. There's actually a hole in the Deku Tree. That's funny, okay. Wow, and it's gone now. Wait a second. Okay, yeah, we did just hear the exposition here. Yeah, Link is originally a Hylian, who would have guessed? And that's why he could grow. It's actually a nice plot twist. It's like this game has a lot of plot twists that do not really like create this like immensely deep epic plot, I would say, but they do create like some mystery, some surprise, and that's what I really like about the story. I think that's also what I like about this game story so much that I would declare Ocarina of Time story actually the best story like in a Zelda game. I do not count Majora's Mask as much because Majora's Mask does not have like that much story, but much more lore in comparison. Like there's like a difference I see in like story and lore, and like this game, in my opinion, has like more story than like Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask has more lore, and like in general, like compared to all the other, I almost said Final Fantasies, all the other Zelda games, I think Ocarina of Time does the best job of having a story that is not like too complicated, not too over ambitious, does create some turns and twists here and there, and keeps you engaged. That's pretty nice. And also keep in mind, in the context of this game's released, a lot of this stuff was like done for the first time. Like you would have never anticipated that Sheik is actually Zelda. That was such a big reveal back in the day. You can't believe it. Like everyone nowadays, that's like a meme nowadays. Like Sheik is Zelda, who? But like back in the day, that was like huge stuff. And like this reveal here as well, like it's hinted at. Like that's also nice. That you get some hints here and there. Like when you return here to Korea first, like the Korea are still small. Like Link is grown up. Like what is like wrong here? Like something is special about Link. You know that from the get-go. You also notice that he does not have a fairy like in the beginning. Like all of those small hints dropped here and there. That's pretty nice. Good stuff. Yeah. And yeah, also, let's do some more explanations while we're at it. Yeah, this Deku Tree Sprout just explains to us that there was like this civil war going on. And that's what I meant with like German exclusive lore for like Ocarina of Time. There is like this, was it Club Nintendo? I think it was Club Nintendo magazine. That was exclusive to Germany, and that Club Nintendo magazine had like a comic in the art style of like Ocarina of Time, like with the basically with the like art you see in like the artwork of this game. Like it had an entire comic that added some like backstory to how like Link's mother comes to the forest here, entrusts Link to the Deku Tree, and also some like other stuff, like where like this Link travels back in time, meets his younger self, and like teaches him like how the game works or so. Like a lot of funny stuff there that is exclusive in German, because like they decide, hey, come on, Germany gets an exclusive Link to the Time comic as like Club Nintendo Reward or so. But there's stuff like that. Cool, yeah, and now we need to go to the next dungeon, and the next dungeon we need to go to would be the Fire Temple. At least that's what the game intends us to do. I'm currently thinking what's the best course of action. I think I can just save and quit. We will arrive back in the Temple of Time because that's the save and quit point for Adult Link if he's not inside the dungeon. That shouldn't really matter. We have a warp song. I still want to do some stuff here. I actually can... Wait a second. I can make this... I can do this smarter. I can actually warp back now. I can warp back now, enter the Forest Temple and save and quit there, and then I'm inside the Forest Temple again. Also, this animation is also cut from Randomizer. Nice to see it again. Cool. Makes you appreciate a little bit how the Randomizer does speed things up. Oh, too bad, didn't get it. But yeah, we're inside the Forest Temple again. If I save and quit now, I should start here again. So from like Lost Woods, we will make our way towards Death Mountain and see what has happened there within the past 7 years. It's gonna be interesting. Fire Temple coming up next. I think I'm also gonna stick to the like normal order here. You can choose between fire and I almost said Ice Dungeon, Ice Temple. You can choose between fire and water at this stage, I think. You can do either dungeon. So much for linearity in your old Zelda games, right? But I'm gonna stick to what is supposedly the order that you should do the dungeons in. At least that's what I would like to do. Makes also the most sense. Like, that's like also part of my route I want to take. So yeah, save here, also quick shake. I do not have all the sculptures here. Wait a second. Did I just seriously forget the one in the basement? Whoops. Wait a second. Nah. I wanted to end the episode. The episode is already long, but did I defeat the sculpture and like never pick up the token? That's also something that can happen on occasion. I think I got distracted by the switch, right? I picked up the chest, but I did forget about the sculpture again. Huh? Wait a second, am I... Wait a second, wasn't that... Am I dumb now? Wasn't that a thing, that Forest Temple does not have an icon? I think Forest Temple does not get an icon when you defeat all those golden sculptures. You cannot hear it here either, right? No, it wasn't that room. If it did, no, I got that sculpture, huh? I did also not forget about this one over here, right? No. I will look into this and I will show you next episode if I missed one, but I'm fairly certain now that this is like a bug in the game. It's pretty unlike me to forget one of those sculptures. I'm baffled a little bit, you can tell. I know which one I forgot. I'm a Dumbo. Yeah, okay. Wait a second, we do this now. What's the most elegant way to do this? Hover boots, but I don't have hover boots. Wait a second. Okay, this is kind of involved right now, but I need to do this. I know which one I forgot. And we need to go back to that one room that we could enter via the first twisted room. Or can I do this more elegantly? Like I want to go into that hole over there. I think if I jump from here that doesn't work. Because I do not cover enough distance. Let's see, can I do this? Can I perform a mega flip here, maybe? Nah, okay. You can perform a mega flip. If you time it right, you can roll into a bomb, then immediately backflip, and the knockback knocks you. Like, you get some insane knockback. Your like backflip goes much further in the opposite direction than it normally does. I'm gonna try this again. I know the episode is long, but no, dude. Okay, that was funny. Okay, let's do it normally, shall we? I think there's also set up to reach that place with a jump slash or so. But better make it safe now than waste more time. How could I forget that one sculpture that is the most out of the way? Almost. I'm not good at mega flips, I need to admit that. Nah. It's not far enough. Damn it! But that was a mega flip. My angle was off. I was not in a straight angle, and it did not land in the hole. Did not land in the hole there. Actually, I want to do it like that now. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Like, if I never perform mega flips, I never get better at them, right? I really ended up in that corner there, right? Oh no. Let's try it like this. Climb up, that way Link is pretty straight here. Nah, that was not quite a mega flip. Yeah, we need to cut this. I guess I have to. Okay. I think I'm too early when he gets knocked back. I think when he gets knocked back, I'm too early. I need to wait until it explodes. But yeah, we are here again. And yeah, right over there, I need to go like over here. Don't fall off. Yeah, you can hear it. I forgot about that one. Whoops. It happens on occasion, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, nice. Also, by the way, nice design here, like once again, like with this little bridge and stuff. Totally pointless, but adds a lot of character to this place. Once again, last pat on the back for Forest Temple here. Also, since we have all the torches lit here now, it's much brighter. Cool. Yeah, let's just stand here. Let's look at the fire here. Doesn't it look good? We are finally done here. Next time we move on to the Fire Temple, and then we will hopefully do an equal amount of shenanigans. Let's hope so. And let's hope we don't miss another sculpture. Alright guys, thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Until then, take care and goodbye.